Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Miss Nightmare. Hope you guys are ready to listen to some Valentine's Day theme horror stories. Here are 19 different stories. Enjoy. Whispers of affection in the coffee shop. Day. The cozy coffee shop bustles with customers. Sarah, mid-20s, sits alone, engrossed in her laptop. Her phone buzzes with an anonymous Valentine's message. She looks around, puzzled, seeking the sender's identity, and gets a cryptic response. Exit the coffee shop. Day. Leaving the coffee shop, Sarah feels watched but sees no one. She hurries home. In Sarah's apartment at night. At home, Sarah receives another message, mentioning her appearance that day. She blocks the number. Unsettled. In Sarah's apartment. The next day, a bouquet of roses arrives with no note. Sarah is scared. Checks her apartment for signs of intrusion. Sarah on the phone with Jen. Someone is watching me. I can feel it. In the police station. Day. Sarah reports the incidents to Officer Martin, who promises to monitor her phone and trace the messages. Night. Sarah's sense of security is fleeting. A doorbell ring reveals a hooded figure with more roses. She calls 911. In the police station. Day. The stalker is revealed to be Tom, a barista from the coffee shop. He confesses, believing they were soulmates. In the coffee shop. Day. A week later, Sarah returns to the coffee shop, meeting Jen. She's cautious, but trying to reclaim her sense of normalcy. Lay Lucas, a new barista, offers support, acknowledging Sarah's unease and offering comfort. Sarah, thank you, Lucas. I appreciate that. Sarah begins to feel a renewed sense of community support. Exit Sarah's apartment building. Day. Sarah walks home. Officer Martin checks on her, reinforcing the support from the community. In Sarah's apartment. Night. Sarah starts a blog post, sharing her story to help others, emphasizing the importance of community and support. Sarah voiceover. If my story can help even one person, then it's worth sharing. Exit city streets. Night. The city buzzes with life. Sarah's voiceover talks about respect, kindness, and the importance of looking out for each other. Serial Love, a Valentine's Day murder. Crimson Heart. The peaceful town is bustling with preparations for Valentine's Day. Red and pink decorations adorn every corner. Introduce Alex, a local detective haunted by an unsolved case from the past, where a killer used Valentine's Day as their motif. Alex receives an anonymous Valentine's card hinting at the killer's return. The card contains a cryptic message leading to the first clue. The conflict: a body is discovered with a Valentine's Day card, reigniting fear in the town. The scene is romantically staged but gruesomely executed. Alex finds connections to the past crimes. Each victim receives a card with a clue, taunting Alex to solve the puzzle. The killer targets Jordan, Alex's best friend and fellow detective. A haunting Valentine's card is left at Jordan's desk. The heart wants what it wants. Can you save yours? Alex deciphers clues leading to locations significant to past victims, revealing a pattern linked to the killer's life. The investigation leads Alex to the town's annual Valentine's dance for the final showdown, set against a backdrop of red roses and a dimly lit atmosphere. The confrontation with the killer, Evelyn, a local florist driven by revenge against those she blames for her heartbreak. The dramatic reveal happens amidst the dance floor. Evelyn justifies her actions as revenge for lost love. Alex tries to reason with her, highlighting the value of life beyond vengeance. A tense standoff ends with Alex outwitting Evelyn, leading to her capture. Evelyn is in custody, ending her reign of terror. The town, while relieved, bears the scars of her actions. Alex and Jordan reflect on the ordeal, pondering the complexities of love and vengeance. Alex visits the victims' graves, leaving a single red rose at each, symbolizing tribute and the dangers of love, twisted into obsession. Alex receives a Valentine's card from Jordan, not as a harbinger of doom, but as a symbol of gratitude and deepening bond. The film closes on a note of hope and healing, affirming that love, in its pure form, brings light even in the darkest times. Heartbeats and haunts the cursed love garden. Sitting guests are welcomed through a gate covered in thorny roses, with soft, eerie music and the sound of a heartbeat in the background. Welcome, brave souls, to the cursed love garden, where love never dies, and neither do its inhabitants. Ghostly lovers appear and disappear, whispering tragic love poems. The ballroom of lost loves a grand ballroom, with spectral couples dancing silent. A heart-shaped mirror shows no reflections of the visitors. Behold the ballroom of lost loves, where spirits are trapped in an eternal dance of longing. Spectral dancers invite guests to join, vanishing upon contact. The tunnel of whispers, a corridor where whispers of love turn into screams of heartbreak. The tunnel of whispers holds words of love that morph into cries of despair. Whispers follow guests, with hands brushing against them. The laboratory of broken hearts, a mad scientist's lab with jars of hearts and frantic Valentine's cards. The laboratory of broken hearts, where a quest for perfect love led to madness. The mad scientist demonstrates his experiments, leading to a startling effect. The chapel of eternal bonds, an old chapel with ghostly figures and an altar where an ethereal bride and groom stand. The chapel of eternal bonds, where lovers pledge their eternal love in life and death. The bride and groom ask guests to witness their vows, culminating in a dramatic effect. The Garden of Resurrection, a vibrant garden symbolizing reborn love. After journeying through love and loss, spirits offer guests flowers or chocolates, wishing them love. The Feast of the Forsaken, a dining hall with a rotten feast, with ghostly servants offering grotesque delicacies. Welcome to the Feast of the Forsaken, spoiled by betrayals and heartbreak. A specter toasts to undying love, followed by a chilling scream. The Library of Love Letters, a library with floating books and whispered secrets of love. The Library of Love Letters, a trove of love's most poignant moments. Ghostly librarian shushes loudly and whispers love stories. The Serenade of Sorrow, a fog-filled room with a ghostly pianist playing haunting melodies. The Serenade of Sorrow, where melodies of love's greatest moments linger. The pianist looks at guests as if recognizing a lost love. The mirror maze of lost souls, a maze with mirrors showing guests in haunting reflection. The mirror maze of lost souls reveals the depth of heart's desires and fears. Lost souls plead for help and offer advice on finding true love. The requiem of rekindled flames, an area resembling the night sky with a pulsing heart at the center. The requiem of rekindled flames, where love's light guides lost hearts. Dancers invite guests to make a wish, culminating in a burst of light and confetti. Conclusion and exit, a path with glowing lanterns leads to the exit, where guests can leave notes on love. May the memories of these spirits remind you of love's eternal dance. Carry forth love's light into the world. This script combines horror and romance, offering a Valentine's Day experience that is both chilling and touching. Each scene builds upon the last. Hearts in Shadow, a night of enchantment. The opera house sparkles, adorned for Valentine's Day. An air of anticipation envelops the audience, eager for an evening of romance and music. Networks 10, The Gathering Apart. Lorenzo, A tenor and Isabella, a soprano, enchant with their performances, hinting at a budding romance. Unseen, the shadow lurks, his intentions dark and mysterious. On love and shadows. As love blossoms between Lorenzo and Isabella, the shadow moves silently, his actions causing fear. The opera's beauty contrasts with the growing unease among the audience. Armentry, revelation. The shadow reveals himself, a figure of vengeance and pain, his heart scarred by rejection. Lorenzo and Isabella's love shines, confronting the darkness with their purity. Exorce. The final the opera house, now a battlefield of light and darkness. A final confrontation sees the shadow, moved by Lorenzo and Isabella's love. Realizing his faults, love's anthem, light over shadows, rings out, Knack 5. The dawn of understanding in the opera house is quiet. Lorenzo, Isabella, and the ensemble reflect on love's trials and the shadows they've overcome. Exing. Love's triumph. Lorenzo and Isabella pledge their enduring love in eternal flame. The shadow, now seeking redemption, expresses his remorse and epilogue. The heart's unending song. The cast, joined by a changed shadow, celebrates love's victory and the promise of a brighter future with the heart's unending song. Echoes beyond the stage. Lorenzo and Isabella engage in healing through music, while Marco the Shadow embarks on a path of redemption. Their journeys are marked by solos and duets that speak of healing and understanding. And that tapestry of hearts, a united front, Lorenzo, Isabella, and Marco share their message of empathy and reform. The opera house transforms into a symbol of hope, its legacy of love immortalized in the legacy of love. And final curtain kite. The cast's final bow is a testament to the transformative power of love and art. The audience departs, touched by the opera's message, carrying with them the spirit of hearts in shadow. One Earth in Shadow weaves a tale of love, darkness, and redemption, using the backdrop of an opera house to explore the depths of human emotion and the unyielding power of love. Through music, drama, and a journey from shadows into light, it offers an enduring message of hope and unity. Lover's Lane. A Valentine's Day mystery. An romantic setup gone wrong. A cozy yet sophisticated restaurant, softly lit, with tables adorned in red and white tablecloths. Romantic music plays in the background. The camera pans through the restaurant, stopping at a table where Jessica and Michael, a young couple in their late 20s, are having dinner. They are laughing and toasting to their future. This has been the perfect Valentine's Day, Michael. I can't believe how lucky I am to have you. Mike is smiling. The night's not over yet. I have one more surprise planned. Exterior Lover's Lane. A secluded, picturesque spot known for its scenic view of the city. Michael's car pulls up, and they get out, holding hands and walking towards a prearranged picnic spot with a blanket and a bottle of champagne. And scene 2, discovering as they approach, they notice something odd in the moonlight. The camera follows their gaze to reveal a body lying on the ground, partially hidden by shadows. Jessica screams, and Michael rushes to call 900. Jessie, I'm hysterically. Oh my god, Michael, what do we do? Michael on the phone, trying to stay calm and calling the police. Jessica, stay here. Investigation begins. The same location, now swarming with police and crime scene investigators. Detective Laura Hawkins is leading the investigation. She approaches Jessica and Michael, who are sitting in the back of an ambulance, wrapped in blankets. I'm Detective Hawkins. Can you tell me exactly what you saw? and Jessica and Michael recount their discovery. The camera focuses on clues: a mysterious locket, tire tracks, unraveling secrets, interrogation. Detectives Hawkins and Martinez discuss the victim, Emily Carter, and her mysterious presence at Lover's Lane. Why was Emily here on Valentine's Day? Let's dig into her personal life. In this scene, the twist ends, and flashbacks reveal Emily's secret affair with David Miller. The detectives confront David, who denies involvement but admits to their meeting that night. Detective Hawkins: so you just walked away from her? I didn't kill her. I loved her. Scene 6. The climax security footage reveals Emily arguing with Carla, her best friend. Carla confesses to the crime, driven by jealousy. And Scene 6. And Jessica and Michael return to Lover's Lane, laying flowers where Emily was found, promising honesty to each other. And Scene arc. Reflection. Detective Hawkins reflects on the case's impact and receives gratitude from an art student who knew Emily. New beginning. Jessica and Michael start a community outreach program in Emily's memory, deepening their connection. And Scene 10. And Detective Hawkins, driving home, contemplates the lessons learned, echoes of the past, and Detective Hawkins is thanked by an art student, reinforcing the importance of their work, a promise kept, and Jessica and Michael volunteer in a program supporting local artists. On a new dawn, at Detective Hawkins and Martinez prepare for a new day, their resolve strengthened by past cases. Moving forward, and as the city awakens, the story of Emily Carter serves as a reminder of the impact one life can have and the promise of a new day. Valentine's Vendetta, a secluded cabin in a snowy forest. Three couples arrive at a remote cabin to celebrate Valentine's Day weekend, excited for a getaway filled with romance and relaxation. They find a mysterious heart-shaped box on the doorstep with a note. A heart for a heart, thinking it's a prank. As night falls, they enjoy time by the fireplace, unaware of a shadowy figure watching from outside. The threat emerges, its occurrences unsettle the group. Noises, flickering lights, and the feeling of being watched. Another heart-shaped box is found, this time with a threatening note, causing tension and suspicion among the friends. A blackout and a missing friend lead them to discover a trail of rose petals to the basement. The revelation. In the basement, a shrine with Valentine's memorabilia and photos, taken without their knowledge, reveals they're being stalked. The killer, an obsessed stalker from the past, confronts them, seeking revenge for a broken heart. The friends must survive and outsmart the killer, relying on their wits and each other. The aftermath. Survivors struggle with trauma, attempting to return to normal life while dealing with the psychological aftermath. Relationships are tested and strengthened as the survivors deal with their experiences. A detective finds a clue hinting at a possible accomplice or another stalker, suggesting the nightmare isn't over. The twist: a year later, a survivor receives a cryptic Valentine's card, "Love never dies," reigniting fear. The group investigates, uncovering lies and secrets that lead to a shocking discovery. The true mastermind is someone they trusted. The final confrontation. The survivors confront the true antagonist, leading to a suspenseful showdown where they outmaneuver the manipulator. Healing. On the next Valentine's Day, the survivors celebrate their resilience, releasing lanterns into the sky. Stay music. Masterminds. Winks and Schurtersen. Warkanane is alive with anticipation for the annual Valentine's Day festival. Violet, a mysterious and talented singer, arrives, captivating everyone with her voice. Welcome to Harmony. The townsfolk sing about their love for the town and the upcoming festival. Scene 2. The meeting tea in the local cafe. Violet meets James, a charming pianist. Their conversation about music and dreams leads to a decision to perform a duet at the festival. Long time of hearts, Violet and James express their instant connection and excitement about their mystery. As festival preparations proceed, mysterious accidents threaten the event. The sheriff, suspicious of newcomer Violet, closely watches her. Song 3, Shadows in the Spotlight. The town sings of fear and suspicion, hinting at hidden truths. Nessie. The threat Violet receives a threatening note, but she resolves to stay and perform, despite James's worries. Nast worst on Whispers in the Wind. Violet reflects on her fears and her past, determined to face the music. The festival. Me with the festival underway. The real danger is revealed. A jealous rival from Violet's past. The sheriff intervenes in time. Iwang Farkas de Music. A dramatic confrontation unfolds in song. The performance and after the saboteur's apprehension. The festival resumes. Violet and James's performance is a hit, symbolizing the healing of the community. Song C, United in Love. A finale where the cast sings of love, forgiveness, and community strength. The decision, inspired by the love and support of Harmony. Violet and James decide to stay, opening a music school. Song Summoning Forever, a reprise of the joy and unity and harmony, led by Violet and James. Yeklovs. Behind the scenes in the scene. The cast and crew reflect on the journey of the musical, sharing personal growth and connections made. Sung Encore of Hearts. An encore that mixes the musical's hits in a spectacular finale. A year later, Violet and James's music school is thriving, embodying the spirit of harmony. The town prepares for the next festival, now a beacon of hope and creativity. Song 9. New Versini Tennessee. New verse in terms of hope. In a return, the reformed saboteur returns to Harmony, seeking forgiveness and joins the music school, starting anew. Song Alas. Redemption Song, a duet on forgiveness and transformation. Nien. Nien, the festival returns. Retermini's festival is back, showcasing the town's unity and talent, with Violet and James at the forefront. Sung Tuak. Together we shine, a triumphant celebration of community and individuality. Nekirtan Karn. A final joyous bow from the cast, crew, and townsfolk, underlining the musical's message of love. Serial Love, a Valentine's Day murder. The scene opens in a cozy kitchen adorned with heart-shaped decorations. A box of Valentine's Day themed cereal sits prominently on the counter. Richard, a charming but slightly eccentric individual, stands over the counter, pouring heart-shaped cereal into a bowl. Richard whispering to themselves, "Love is in the air, and so is breakfast." Suddenly the atmosphere shifts as Richard's demeanor darkens. They reach into a drawer and pull out a small knife, eyeing the cereal box with a sinister grin. Richard Feeble, chuckle time for a killer breakfast. With swift and precise movements, Richard begins to cut into the cereal box, slashing it open as if it were a victim in a horror film. As the cereal spills out, revealing heart-shaped marshmallows and crimson-colored flakes, Richard's eyes gleam with satisfaction. Richard, mockingly, who knew love could be so crunchy? Just then the sound of footsteps echoes from the hallway. Richard freezes, the knife still in hand. As if caught in the act, Mary, their unsuspecting partner, enters the kitchen, a smile on their face. Mary, what are you up to? Richard quickly hides the knife behind their back, attempting to maintain their composure. Richards, want some cereal? Mary nods eagerly, oblivious to the danger lurking beneath the surface. Richard serves up a bowl of the Valentine's Day cereal, their smile masking their true intentions. Richard, you go, sweetheart, enjoy. As Mary takes a bite, Richard's eyes twinkle with mischief, knowing that their Valentine's Day surprise is just beginning. Mary finishes their first bite. They suddenly freeze, a look of horror crossing their face. Mary, gasps. Richard's smile widens into a sinister grin as Mary begins to convulse. Clutching their throat in agony, Mary, the voice dripping with malice. Just a little something to spice up our love. Darling, as Mary collapses to the ground. The camera pans to reveal the cereal box, now stained with blood-red cereal, the chilling words, Cereal Love. A Valentine's Day massacre written in dripping letters. The camera slowly zooms out from the gruesome scene, capturing the chilling aftermath of the Valentine's Day massacre. Richard stands over the fallen Mary, a twisted grin plastered on their face, relishing. But just as Richard begins to revel in their victory, a sudden knock at the door interrupts the eerie silence. Startled, Richard hastily conceals the blood-stained knife and rushes towards the door. Valentine bis. Mystery Mystique Resort. The sun glistens over a luxurious beach resort, with couples walking hand in hand, enjoying Valentine's Day festivities. Resort lobby, Dunny, Jessica, and Ryan. A young couple check in, excited about their first Valentine's Day together. Beach sunset, the couple enjoys a romantic dinner. A mysterious figure watches them from afar. Near resort room, now they find a cryptic Valentine's card under their door, hinting at a deadly game. Resort grounds. Mysterious figure plants ominous tokens around the resort. News of a missing couple spreads. Jessica and Ryan, intrigued by the cryptic message, decide to investigate. Resort me. Following clues, they encounter other couples who've received similar messages. A twisted game unfolds. In the hidden room, none evidence links the resort's owner, Mr. Thornton, to the disappearances driven by a vendetta against Valentine's Day. Lush garden. In a climactic confrontation, Thornton reveals his tragic backstory. The police arrive, arresting him. Neon Beach Resort. Day. Epilogue to Sika and Ryan. Now closer, watch the sunrise. Their perspective on love forever changed. Wait, beach resorts. Continuous, the resort comes to life again after the nightmare. And resort dining area. Morning. The couples bond over the shared ordeal, exchanging stories. Resort gardens. Later, Jessica and Ryan reflect on the fragility of life and the strength of love. Resort lobby. The story of the Valentine vendetta spreads as news crews arrive. Each day. The couple watches as life continues. Their love strengthened. Resort room. Ryan leaves Jessica, a heartfelt Valentine's card, deepening their connections. Resort entrance. They promise to return, not to relive the nightmare, but to celebrate survival. Sai Highway. D drive away, hand in hand, ready to face the future together. Nan Underdated Beach Resort. 6 months later, the resort is bustling again, with new management and increased security. Resort lobby. The plaque commemorates the resilience of love. Lund City Park. Natar, survivor couple gets married. their vows echoing their journey from darkness to light. In Art Gallery, even another couple opens an art exhibit inspired by their experiences, showcasing the beauty born from pain. Mew. Reach, Sunsen, Jessica, and Ryan return for a charity event supporting victims of crime, greeted as symbols of strength. Charity event. Me, the event emphasizes community and love's power in overcoming adversity. And the resort shines under the night sky, a beacon of love and hope. The Last Valentine. Exterior. A small, quaint town covered in a blanket of snow. It's Valentine's Day, but the cheer is missing from the air, replaced by a chilling breeze. Now interior. Emma's cozy living room, dimly lit by the fireplace. Emma, mid-30s, sits on the sofa, staring at a faded photograph of her and James, her ex-husband. The clock strikes midnight, marking the end of Valentine's Day. Emma whispering to herself, another year, another day without you, James. Suddenly, there's a knock at the door. Confused and slightly afraid, Emma approaches cautiously. Seeing Tima opens the door to find a bouquet of roses on her doorstep, with a note attached. She picks it up and reads it aloud. To Emma, my forever Valentine. Meet me where it all began. Jay's shocked and trembling. Emma looks around the deserted street, but sees no one. Scene 3. The old oak tree on the outskirts of town, where Emma and James carved their initials years ago. The full moon casts eerie shadows. Emma arrives, holding the roses close. Emma, shouting into the night, James, are you here? This isn't funny. Suddenly the wind picks up, swirling the snow around her. A figure steps out from the shadows. It's James, looking exactly as he did 5 years ago, the night he disappeared. James, softly, I couldn't miss our Valentine's Day, Emma. On her eyes, but how we said you were gone forever. James, smiling sadly, I was, but tonight, the veil between our worlds is thin. I had to see you one last time. Scene formed manned. James sit beneath the old oak tree, surrounded by an unnatural calm. They talk about everything and nothing, as if making up for lost time. Mute curiously, Emma. I need you to let me go. You've been holding on to the past, but it's time to move forward. Emma crying. I don't know if I can. Holding her hand, you're stronger than you know. Live, love, and remember me with joy, not sorrow. Was the first light of dawn appears. James starts to fade. James, smiling, happy Valentine's Day, Emma. I'll always love you. Scene 5, Emma stands alone as the sun rises, the roses by her feet. She wipes her tears away, a sense of peace settling in her heart. And then walks back to town. She's ready to face the future, holding on to the love and memories, but not letting them anchor her to the past. I see interior Emma's kitchen. Several months later. The room is brighter, filled with fresh flowers and the aroma of coffee. Emma is at the table, flipping through a photo album, a gentle smile on her face. Emma opens it to find Lucas, a friend from the past, holding a book she lent him years ago. Lucas. Hey, Emma. I thought it's time I returned this. Emma had forgotten all about that book. Lucas? Lower scene, setting, say. Emma and Lucas catch up over coffee. There's an ease between them, a connection rekindling. Lucan rekinkissing. You seem different, Emma. Lighter somehow. I've learned to let go, to embrace the present, and look forward to the future. My signature. The old oak tree in spring. Emma and Lucas walk towards it, laughing to carve their initials next to the old ones, symbolizing new beginnings. Seeing them, Lucas hosts an engagement party in a garden full of blooms, Em's James in a quiet moment, touching a framed photograph of him. Emma too, the photographer, you'd like him. He makes me happy. The scene shifts to a hopeful future as Emma and Lucas plan to visit the old oak tree. Hand in hand, ready to Emma and Lucas plan to visit the old oak tree. Valentine's Day at the zoo. Chilling tale. Lucas and Emma enter the zoo under a Valentine's Day special. Love is Wild banner, excited for their date. Sue, they explore, finding a Tunnel of Love exhibit. It promises an immersive jungle experience. They enter, eager for adventure. Tunnel of Love. Continually, the tunnel darkens and narrows. Strange sounds surrounding them. Suddenly, a dim light reveals a split path. They choose left only to encounter a glass-shattering creature. Sue. Continue, they escape, telling security about the ordeal. The zoo director apologizes, citing a malfunctioning exhibit, but their Valentine's Day is irrevocably changed. Lucas and Emma's apartment. 90 home now, they reflect on their experience, finding solace in each other and deciding to document their story. Meanwhile, the zoo is investigated. It's revealed the creature was supposed to be animatronic, hinting at sabotage. Apartment living room. Lucas and Emma write their tale, sharing it online. It resonates widely, sparking a mix of shock and support. The zoo remains closed, the mystery of the incident lingering as a dark shadow over the once joyful place. My fate X Stason. And their Valentine's Day adventure at the zoo, intended to be a celebration of love, transforms into a chilling story of survival, mystery, and resilience. The couple's experience. From the terrifying chase in the Tunnel of Love to their decision to share their story, underscores the unpredictability of adventure and the strength found in unity. As the investigation into the zoo's incident deepens, revealing potential sabotage, Lucas and Emma's narrative becomes a cautionary tale, reminding us of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly innocent attractions. The Love Unseen quaint Victorian house. Night, the camera pans over a dimly lit, quaint Victorian house, shrouded in mist. Inside, the decor is a blend of modern and antique, with photographs of a happy couple, Emily and Alex, adorning the walls. Emily, late 20s, with a love for the mysterious, sits on an antique couch, flipping through an old, leather-bound book. A storm rages outside, the wind howling like the whispers of the past. Valentine's Day. A time for love even beyond the grave. A knock echoes through the house. Emily looks up, puzzled. The clock strikes midnight. Another knock, more insistent this time. Victorian house. Hallway. Night. Emily approaches the door, the wood creaking beneath her steps. She reaches for the handle, heart racing. Victorian house. Night. She opens the door. A blast of cold air. No one there. Only the storm, its fury unabated. Emily, hello? Her voice is swallowed by the storm. Then, from the shadows, a figure emerges. A man, dressed in clothes from another era. Emily, startled, who are you? The ghost, for he's not of the living, steps into the light. He is handsome, with a sorrowful gaze. His eyes lock onto Emily's. Ghost, I am James. Once a lover, now a spirit. Emily steps back, disbelief and fear mingling. Emily, why are you here? James, to find my lost love, Eleanor. It's said that on Valentine's Day, the veil between worlds is thinnest. I must find her before dawn or wait another year. Emily, moved by his tale, decides to help. Victorian house. Living room. Night, they sit at the table, a candle flickering between them. James tells Emily of his love for Eleanor, how they were torn apart by tragedy on Valentine's Day a century ago. Emily will find her, James. They begin a seance, calling out to Eleanor. The candle flickers wildly, then extinguishes. A cold wind sweeps through the room. A soft, ethereal voice fills the air. James looks around, hope alight in his eyes. James Eleanor, my love, a ghostly figure materializes, her form gaining clarity. It's Eleanor, as beautiful as the day she was lost to James. They reach for each other, hands nearly touching. Eleanor, I've been waiting for you. The clock begins to chime, signaling the approach of dawn. Eleanor's form begins to fade. James pleading, stay with me. Eleanor smiling sadly, our love is timeless. Remember, as the last chime echoes, Eleanor disappears. James turns to Emily, gratitude and sorrow in his gaze. James, thank you, Emily. Because of you, I found peace. With a final grateful look, James fades away, leaving Emily alone but touched by the power of love beyond death. Victorian house. Living room. Dawn Emily watches the sunrise. The storm cleared. She feels a warmth, as if the love shared between James and Eleanor lingers, a testament to their eternal bond. Emily to herself, happy Valentine's Day. Fade out. Victorian house. Garden. The next morning, the first rays of sunlight pierced through the morning fog, bathing the Victorian house in a soft golden light. The garden, still whispering secrets of the previous night's promises, is serene and untouched. Victorian house. Kitchen morning Emily is up early, inspired and filled with a sense of purpose. She brews coffee, the aroma filling the kitchen, as she pens down notes in a journal. Her experiences have ignited a desire to document the house's history and its spectral visitors. Emily, to herself, James and Eleanor's story deserves to be shared, a love that transcends time. She sketches a plan to research the history of the house, to find more about its previous inhabitants, and to explore the possibility of other spirits needing peace. Victorian house. Study day surrounded by old books, newspaper clippings, and online archives. Emily delves into the past. She discovers tales of love, loss, and echoes of the past that still linger within the walls of the house. Alex entering. What have you found? Emily, excitedly, so much, Alex. This house, it's a beacon for those who've loved deeply. James and Eleanor were just the beginning. They share a moment of realization that their home is not just a place of residence, but a sanctuary for stories untold. Victorian house. Garden. Evening, Emily and Alex decide to honor the past by planting a garden dedicated to James and Eleanor, and all the lovers who have walked its grounds. Each flower, each stone, tells a story of love eternal. Emily, this is for them, for us, for all who believe in love beyond death. The camera pulls away, the garden a vibrant testament to the house's legacy. The Victorian architecture standing proudly against the twilight skies. Victorian house. Living room. Night, the day ends with Emily and Alex sitting by the fire, the journal between them. Emily writes the last words of their Valentine's Day adventure, a vow to keep the stories of the house alive. Emily, and so, our story becomes a part of its history, a chapter in the endless tale of love. They lean back, the fire casting a warm glow on their faces. A house silent but for the sound of their breathing and the crackle of the fire. Alex softly. Who knows what other stories await us here? We have a lifetime to find out. Fade us as the screen fades to black. The audience is left with a sense of continuity. The feeling that love, in its many forms, binds us across the ages, making us part of something greater than ourselves. The Victorian house stands not just as a structure of wood and stone, but as a monument to the power of love, a beacon for those whose love stories are yet to be told. The end, this script combines the elements of mystery, love beyond death, and the continuation of life stories within the walls of a Victorian house. It encapsulates the essence of Valentine's Day, not just as a celebration of love in the present, but as a homage to the enduring and timeless nature of truth. Through Emily and Alex's journey, the script explores themes of connection, hearts in the frost small, snow-covered village near the front lines of a brutal war. It's February 14th, 1944. Scene we open on a young soldier, Michael, trudging through the snow. He's rugged, with the weariness of war in his eyes, but a certain softness when he looks at a crumpled photo in his hand, a picture of him and Elizabeth, his love taken before the war. Michael, this war has taken so much from so many. But today, Valentine's Day, I can't help but hold on to the hope that love, somehow, can still find a way. Seen tied inside a dimly lit bunker, Michael sits with a pen and paper, struggling to write a letter to Elizabeth. Each word is heavy with emotion, a mixture of love, fear, and longing. Meek and me, while the voices of my dearest Elizabeth, as I sit here amidst the echoes of war, I find solace only in my thoughts of you. Your love is the beacon guiding me through this darkness. Unseen, Turi, a flashback to Michael and Elizabeth's last day together before he was deployed. They're in a serene park, the stark contrast to the war-torn present. They exchange Valentine's gifts. A small, hand-carved wooden heart from Michael to Elizabeth, and a knitted scarf from Elizabeth to Michael. Misa, promise me you'll come back to me. Promise me we'll have our chance to build our future. Mike, my promise. Not even this war can keep me from you. One scene. Walk in the present. The war rages on. Mikkel is in the thick of it, fighting not just for his country, but for his love for her is what keeps him pushing forward, despite the insurmountable odds. Scene 5. Battle intensifies, and Michael finds himself in a perilous situation. He's cornered, with little hope of survival. Closing his eyes, he clutches the wooden heart Elizabeth gave him. For you, Elizabeth. And for our love. Suddenly, there's a turn in the battle. Reinforcements arrive, and Michael's bravery inspires his fellow soldiers to push back with renewed vigor. Against all odds, they turn the tide. Mossine scene C. The war is finally over. Michael, now a war hero, returns to the village. It's covered in snow again, but this time there's a sense of peace. He walks up to Elizabeth's door, heart pounding. He knocks. The door opens, and there stands Elizabeth, tears in her eyes as she sees her hero, her love, return to her. You kept your promise. They embrace a moment of pure love and relief. The war couldn't destroy what they had. Michael White voiceover on Valentine's Day. We found our victory not in the battles fought on the fields, but in the strength of our love. A love that survived the frost of war. Last scene camera fades in from black to a crisp. Clear morning, several years later. The village is fully alive, the scars of war now healed by time and effort. Michael is now a teacher, sharing stories of history and peace with the village children, including his own young son and daughter. Elizabeth runs a small bookstore and community center that has become a hub for rebuilding community spirit and sharing stories of hope. Seen on a quiet evening. Michael and Elizabeth sit on their porch. Michael pulls out an old, worn letter, the one he wrote to Elizabeth during the war. He reads it aloud, his voice steady, but filled with emotion. Your love is the beacon guiding me through this darkness. I wrote these words not knowing if I'd ever see you again, but here we are. Elizabeth, smile our love was the beacon for both of us. And now we've passed that light on to our children. Sinisinin, a family gathers around a fire in the backyard, a tradition they've started to commemorate Valentine's Day. They each write a message of love on a piece of paper, tie it to a balloon, and release it into the night sky. We send these messages to the world to share our gratitude for love and peace. Always remember love conquers all. Scene T. film ends with Michael and Elizabeth walking back into their house, their children asleep in their arms. They place the carved wooden heart and the knitted scarf from their youth into a special box, along with the letters and photos from the war years. My Kimicha, one day we'll share these stories with our grandchildren. We'll tell them about the war, but more importantly, about the love that kept us going. Elizabeth, leaning her head on Michael's shoulder, and how every Valentine's Day we celebrate not just our love, but the triumph of hope and peace over despair. A fade is screen fades to a final shot of the wooden heart and knitted scarf in the box. In the heart of every winter lies a spring waiting to awaken. Love is the warmth that thaws the coldest season. In second, a gentle, uplifting melody that carries the film to its conclusion, leaving the audience with a feeling of hope, renewal, and the enduring power of love. Valentine's Vendetta. The elegant restaurant. Nighting Nanny sets a romantic ambience. With tables dressed in fine linens and a single red rose on each, the restaurant buzzes with the chatter of couples. But one table stands out. It's reserved for our protagonist Emma, a young, bright-eyed woman, and her mysterious Valentine's date, whom she met online, named Julian, a charming yet enigmatic man. Manic nervously adjusting her dress. This is the first time I've met someone online. I hope Julian is as nice as he seems in his messages. A waiter leads Julian to the table. He is handsome, dressed sharply, with a captivating but slightly unsettling smile. Smiley extends a hand, then sits. Emma, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Happy Valentine's Day. He hands her a beautifully wrapped gift. Domestic touched. Thank you, Julian. This is so thoughtful. Emma unwraps the gift to find a vintage-looking locket. Julian watches her intently, his smile never wavering. It belonged to someone very special to me. I want you to have it now. The dinner progresses with Julian captivating Emma with tales of his travels and adventures. But every story seems to have a dark undercurrent, something Emma can't quite put her finger on. Something to lighten the mood, so Julian, tell me something about you that not many people know. Near Julian's end. Voice low? I have a particular set of skills. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like us. Ma laughs it off as a joke. But Julian's expression remains serious. You know, Emma, I believe in making every moment count. Like it's your last. Ma starts to feel uneasy, her laugh faltering. I looking around nervously. Yeah, I guess we should. Suddenly the restaurant's lights dim further, and a slow, eerie violin tune fills the air. Julian's demeanor changes. His gaze becomes more intense. And Julian, darkly, did you know, Emma, that the heart is not just a symbol of love, but also of life and death? It's fascinating how closely they're intertwined. Emma, now visibly scared, tries to excuse herself, but Julian's grip on her hand is firm. And truly, yet, Emma, our date, it's just getting started. The scene shifts as Emma realizes the true nature of her date. Julian is not just a man with secrets, but a killer with a twisted sense of romance. The restaurant, once a place of love and warmth, now feels like a trap. Voice trembling. What do you want from me, Julian? Julian's back, smiling. Just your heart, Emma. Figuratively, and perhaps literally, the tension peaks as Emma looks for ways to escape. Julian continues to talk about his peculiar views on love and death. Comparing them to the ultimate act of intimacy, Emma spots a momentary distraction and makes a break for it, rushing through the restaurant. Management restaurant. Mai bursts out of the restaurant, gasping for air, her heart pounding. She looks back to see Julian standing at the entrance, clapping slowly, his expression one of amusement, shooting after her. Happy Valentine's Day, Emma. Remember, love can be deadly. Emma runs into the night, Julian's chilling laughter echoing behind her. The screen fades to black as the sounds of the night take over. Not in dark city streets. Emma, her breaths short and panicked, dashes through the dimly lit streets, her heels clicking against the pavement. She glances over her shoulder, half expecting Julian to be there, but finds the streets eerily empty. Emma uttering to herself, I need to find help. This can't be happening. She pulls out her phone, trying to dial 911, but her hands shake so much she almost drops it. Abandoned building. Nine desperation. Emma ducks into an abandoned building to hide and gather her thoughts. The building is dark, save for the moonlight streaming through broken windows. She finally manages to dial for help. Summer Spring, please. You have to help me. There's a man, Julian. He's not what he seems. Before she can finish, a shadow moves across the wall. Emma freezes, her heart racing. Julian's voice always taunting. You can't hide from me, Emma. Our date isn't over yet. May ends the call and hides her phone, her eyes scanning the darkness for an escape route. Abandoned building. Continuum finds a back exit and runs out into an alley. The sound of sirens in the distance gives her a glimmer of hope. Emma breathing heavily just a little further. As she reaches the end of the alley, Julian steps out of the shadows, blocking her path. His once charming face is now twisted in a disturbing grin. Running only makes it more exciting, Emma. Did you really think you could escape me? Ma backs away, her mind racing for options. Suddenly, she remembers the locket Julian gave her. She throws it at him, not as an attack, but as a distraction. Julian instinctively catches it, his guard momentarily down. Semin, I don't want your gifts, your twisted love, or your games. Using this moment, Emma rushes past him, her adrenaline surging. Julian laughs, not chasing her this time. She's usually after her. You can run, Emma, but remember, love like ours is bound by fate. We'll see each other again. Emma doesn't look back, running towards the approaching sirens. At a city street. Lady parked ladies, cars, and an ambulance are parked outside the restaurant. Emma, wrapped in a blanket, gives her statement. Her eyes are wide with shock. But she's safe. Julian is nowhere to be found. We'll find him, miss. You're safe now. Can you tell me anything else about him? He is not human, could be that cold. The detective Martinez nods, his expression grave. A Detective Martini would fairly able to catch him, Emma. This isn't over. The camera pulls away as Emma sits in the back of an ambulance, looking out into the night. The city seems different to her now. Every shadow a potential hiding place for Julian. Having his day will never be the same for me. Julian may be out there, but I survived, and I'll keep surviving no matter what. The screen fades to black, the sound of the city at night playing soft. Emma's story of a Valentine's date turned nightmare ends. But the hunt for Julian begins. Made for station, native domestic. Scene opens to Detective Martinez, a seasoned officer with a keen eye for detail, poring over files and photos scattered across his desk. The room is filled with the low hum of late-night activity, officers passing by, phones ringing. The air is tense with the urgency of the hunt for Julian. Tim himself, determined we'll find you, Julian. No one can hide forever. Heine picks up a photo of Julian, studying it as if trying to decipher the enigma behind those eyes. Unknown location. Night, the scene shifts to a shadow Unity figure moving through the night. It's Julian, but he's no longer the charming date from the restaurant. His demeanor is that of a predator, calculated and cold. And Julian over, chillingly calm. Love is chaos. It's pain. It's the hunt. He looks over a photograph of Emma, then tucks it away, disappearing into the night in Emma's apartment. Now safe but visibly shaken, sits in her living room surrounded by friends. Despite their comforting words, her gaze is distant, haunted by her ordeal. And I heard a whispering, "He's still out there." May a friend notices Emma's distress. "I'm free assuringly, Emma. The police are doing everything they can. You're safe here." Emma nods, but her eyes betray her fear. Fair Police Station, Detective Martinez receives a call, a break in the case. A witness claims to have seen Julian. The detective's eyes light up with a mix of hope and resolve. Detective Martinez. Into phone. Urgently. I'm on my way. Keep an eye on him, but don't engage. He's dangerous. He grabs his coat and heads out, the weight of the situation evident in his step. City, street. Detective Martinez arrives at the location given by the witness. The street is dark, the only light coming from a flickering street lamp. He moves quietly, his senses heightened. Young Detective Martinez, whispering to backup spread out. Keep your distance, but stay alert. He's here somewhere. The tension mounts as officers move through the shadows, searching for any sign of Julian. Near next dark alley. Continue. The camera follows a pair of feet walking through the alley. The camera pans up to reveal Julian, watching the police from the shadows. A smirk plays on his lips. Voiceover, taunting you to think you're hunting me. But who's really the hunter here? Suddenly, he steps out into the light. Directly in the path of Detective Martinez, gun drawn. Julian. Freeze. You're under arrest. Julian doesn't move, his smirk widening. Shh. You think this is the end? This is just the beginning. Before Martinez can react, Julian turns and runs into the maze of alleys, disappearing once again into the night. And Detective Martinez calling after him, "Will catch you, Julian." This ends now, and the chase resumes, the lines between hunter and hunted blurring in the dark city. After story leaves viewers on the edge of their seats, the chase ongoing, the outcome uncertain. Emma's ordeal has sparked a citywide manhunt, the fear and determination of all involved palpable. Julian remains at large, a specter in the night, his final capture inevitable yet elusive. For Ned,